Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over how to differentiate your product and some core fundamental principles that you need to be operating by when choosing and figuring out how to go about changing and innovating your product so that it will actually succeed and not just be another listing floating around the already existing ones. So let's get right into today's video. I'm going to try not to fool around and make jokes like I usually do in the beginning. Let's just get right into it. Here we are, guys. We have just kind of an example market. Now, don't take these too seriously, these little examples I use. We just need something to look at so you understand how to do what we're doing, and you'll be applying this to the products that you're analyzing, right? So I just found this product. We went over this in a video before, and it just seemed like the perfect example. So we're going to use it. So the first thing I want you guys to know, I actually watched a great video by Alex Becker today, and he said, I think the title of the video is something like something about businesses that will make millions in 2020. Something, kind of catchy like that. And what he was talking about was there's essentially several principles you need to be operating by, and these core foundations you should be building your business by. And every single one of them, I found them absolutely on point with what you should be doing with Amazon. So they all applied. I agreed with mostly everything. So we're going to be going over a couple of those principles, which I was already operating by, that were encouraged by that video. And we're also going to be going over the actual concrete step-by-step version of how to implement these and how to do that. So the first thing you're going to do is find a product that has a problem. So you need to be solving a problem. Elon Musk has a great quote. He says, you get paid in direct proportion to the size of the problem you fix. And I think that's held up. That's very true. So when you're going to start selling on Amazon, don't just look for demand and think they're making money, so I'll make money. That'll often lead to a failing product. What you need to hunt down is problems that exist in a marketplace. Right? Some of you have probably looked into many different business models. If I were to do SMMA, social media marketing agency, and just go to local businesses and I say, hey, I'll run your Facebook ads and Instagram ads and Google ads for you. There's nothing that I'm solving there. There's already thousands, tens of thousands of people doing that. And the businesses that would be keen to doing something like that probably already have a social media marketer. So I'm not bringing anything new to the table. Maybe 10 years ago, that would have been a great thing to do, because at some point, every business starts from the point where it was a niche business and someone was solving a problem. Then everyone jumps on it, it gets saturated, and then you have to go hunt down a new problem to solve. So I'm going to give you each principle, or whatever you want to call them, and then we're going to go over it and translate it into Amazon terms. So right here we have a market, and look at this first row of sellers. This is the first organic listing, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, so on. You go down here. The first organic listing has a 2-star rating. The second organic listing, getting the most sales, has 1.5-star rating. 3-star, 2-star, 3-star, 1.5, 2-star. So we found an issue. There's a problem. The problem, we could go into reviews and read. I'll just go right in here and just read some of the problems. I'm sorry about that. Why don't we let that fire truck go by? All right, welcome back. We've let the emergency responders pass. So I've taken the liberty of looking at some reviews here, and every single one of them is bad. I can't find someone that says something good about this product. That's good. So we actually want that. That's amazing. That means that there's something for us to work on to improve. Some of these sellers are doing $6,000 a month selling it with reviews like this. Imagine if you could get out a listing that even had 10 5-star reviews, right? You would get 80% of the sales in the market, probably more. It's a piece of junk. What they don't tell you is it's all controlled by a piece of thin black thread running through each block. I had high hopes for this, but they were destroyed quickly. The toy was defective, which is ironic because it's called an Immortal Man toy. So what if we could make this out of little silicone pieces or hard plastic pieces instead of wood? They're breaking quickly. Bought for Christmas presents. Got one to try before giving to kids. Junk. Pure junk. In the trash. Never again. I don't know why I thought that was so funny, but everyone's disappointed, which is amazing. I love to see disappointment in the review section, because that allows us a way into the market. So the second thing you should be operating by is how big is the problem. So solving a problem should be your main focus, and then second, how big is the problem? If I were to come in here and they're all 4 and 5 star reviews and someone said, oh, the packaging wasn't that nice. I hear this all the time. Oh, my differentiation is I'm going to have better packaging. Okay, that's a step in the right direction, but it's not enough to make customers go from one listing to another. It'll be nice once they already receive it and they're like, oh, that's a nice touch. It will not be the selling point of your listing. So keep that in mind. How big is the problem? Don't fix minor problems. Look for the most common customer complaint. Where are you going to find those? Right in the reviews. So moving on to the last one is you need to find markets that have a lack of service. So what I mean by that is, in our case, a lack of sellers, right? So there's not enough people delivering compared to the demand for the product. If we were to use a keyword tool and see that there's 4,000 searches per month for a Mortal Man toy, but there's only 1 page of sellers from the looks of it, it's already thinning out and there's already random stuff in here. Bowling Alley, Big Toy Fun, I mean, those are sponsored popping up, but they all have the same issue. No one has fixed it. So look out for that. Don't, if 10 people have fixed the problem and they're all already starting to win, don't fix a problem that's already been fixed. How are you ever gonna, 1 star, 1 star, 1 star? They're advertising their products that have 1 star reviews. That's absolutely insane. So come in here and fix some issues, okay? Solve a problem, look for a problem to solve. Ask yourself how big is that problem? And then find markets that have a low amount of service, so no one's fixing those problems. Go look at page 1, 2, 3, 4. Go look for the person who just did the thing that would accelerate their listing in that market. And if they already did it, they're not winning that well, maybe they're failing on marketing and you may still have a slot. But if 20 people already did it, it's no longer a differentiation. You're you're doing the same thing, just at a different level. You're just repeating again. So let's move on to how to differentiate and how to apply this going forward. So this is video part 9 in the Amazon FBA free course. If you made it this far, please go down and leave a like. You've already obviously gotten some value out of it, I hope. And subscribe. Let's try and get this video to 150 likes. That'd be awesome. So if you could do that, that would be perfect. Thanks. Moving on, how do we differentiate? So there's really only a few ways that you're going to be differentiating. First one that comes up to mind is bundling. Right, so bundling is one of those easy ones that for some reason people get the most confused about. I was really confused about that in the beginning. Wow, there's a lot of annoying vehicles going by today. Cool, so the next wave has gone by. We're back to the video. Next time I'm just gonna let it go, so I'm sorry. So what we have for differentiation that a lot of people probably don't know about, which will be a good part of this video, is you could just go ahead and type in yasiv.com. This is a free tool. Just go ahead and do that. And then check this out. You're gonna go all. So this is looks like it was coded on a basement floor with a 16-year-old computer. This website isn't super visually pleasing, but it works really well. So what we can do is we can actually just go Immortal Man toy, right? We can just type that right here. And this is gonna be linked to Amazon. So it's actually gonna pull up, you can see them generating over here. It's gonna pull up these products. It's gonna spit it out into this big web. We're gonna be able to see what people are moving between listing wise and see where their all suggested purchases are, what people are buying with this kind of product. So we'll see that here in a second. Just give it a second to load and we should be seeing that really soon. All right, so it has just loaded up here. This is what it'll look like. It'll look a little bit chaotic at first. If you ever get lost, just scroll all the way out. You'll just be using your, like scrolling with your mouse. And generally somewhere right in the middle here is where that original product will be. So yeah, it's literally right there. So there it is, and this looks kind of crazy, but what it'll do, it'll give you these arrows. And These are where people are going and coming from to and from this listing. That was a confusing explanation, but basically it's frequently bought togethers. It's the flow and kind of like funnels your customers are going through, essentially like rabbit holing through all these different products. Now in this case it's a little weird because I guess when people are kind of Christmas shopping, it may just be a bunch of different random toys for young kids. But in general, this tool is really, really helpful. So if I were to search something like, maybe like a more adult product, not an adult product, but like a wall shelf, or just like a normal private label product, like maybe like this little skull that I'm using as a bookend, you would get more relevant products. It wouldn't be like Nerf guns, robotics, RC car, flying things. These are just random toys. I might get, black skull or black skull bookend, or, rose gold skull instead of gold skull. So you would see all these things popping up. So go ahead and check this tool out. It's really good for thinking of things to bundle together with. And were we to follow any one of these arrows, it's bringing you to things that other customers were coming to and buying with this product. So we see over here, we actually have this, another one of these. They went to this one. Then from there, they went down to this RC car. So really cool tool. Check this out. I do have another video about this, but I thought it would be fun to touch on. We also have a frequently bought together section. It's a great area for bundling. Again, with toys, it's not working so well because you're not just going to bundle random toys together. But with most products, these will be super similar to each other. So if I was going to sell a craft toolkit, there might be a craft cutting pad underneath it, frequently bought together. So relevant things that would go get good together. And then were you to want to bundle, you would be coming over to Alibaba, finding the main product. Cool, right here. You can see these are obviously crazy cheap. You'd be finding the main product you wanted to sell, and then to bundle, you have two options. You'd either be going to that company, great, and then you could search Immortal Man, the product you were looking for. And then what you can do is look at their other products. So that's how you'd figure out something to bundle with. And if you had a specific idea for something to bundle with, you would go ahead and search it in here. And then if that supplier didn't have the thing you wanted to bundle with it, you'd come to this one, and then this one, and then this one, and so on. So that's how bundling works. And then you would contact supplier, right? So contact supplier, and you would say, well, I actually have a template. You would say something like, I'm looking to bundle these together. Here's how many units I want to order, that kind of thing. Right? We don't need to go over how to contact a supplier right here, right now. That'll actually be in the contacting supplier video. But for bundling, it's going to be that process. You're going to find things, again, hopefully using the principles we were learning, how to solve an issue. So is the thing you're including solving an issue? For instance, going back to the craft market, if you were to sell a toolkit where maybe like a Sharpie and something to cut whatever you trace with, and they were always complaining whatever they're cutting was sliding around. So giving them a cut-proof mat to work on that has a grip on it would be a phenomenal addition, and you would actually be solving an issue. By putting another toy or a 2-pack of this in here, I'm actually not solving anything. If anything, I'm worsening it. I'm giving them more garbage. So don't give people more garbage. Fix something and include a product that actually improves the product you're currently selling. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. The next thing to do would be just to find a supplier that has already fixed the issues. So you can think of Alibaba as Chinese suppliers' version of Amazon. They're listing products and we're contacting them to buy it. And we're contacting the ones we find to be the best to purchase from. So they actually have incentive to make a better product on their own. It's generally going to be expensive to try and create a new mold and get a poor supplier to make a better product. That's going to cost molding fees, and there's going to be a long time to do that, right? You might be waiting several weeks, if not months, for them to come up with a totally new product. What would be simple is if there was just one thing wrong. If we were selling this and this latch was not working good, these latches were broken, we could just have a supplier order better latches, or maybe they even have better latches, and install those on our kit. What we would want to do, really, in this situation, it might not work super good, but we could sort by supplier. Then we're just going to look for a differentiated, better quality version of these. So this one comes with packaging. They all look fairly similar. Doesn't look like anyone's really come up with a better material or anything like that. Those are the kind of things that we would be looking for, really. Better material. And again, we're not reading into everything that we're doing here. I'm trying to teach you how to do these things. You'd want to go figure out what the complaints are. So there's a few things I take down when I'm reaching out to suppliers. What's the most common customer complaint? You know, does the product smell? A lot of time with plastic products, if they go straight off of the belt onto into consumer packaging and then get shipped right out, they're going to have a really strong chemical odor. So you could actually ask suppliers to leave those products out for 24 to 48 hours. Air out, a lot of times they'll be happy to do that, and then you could cancel out that big issue right there. A lot of times listings have horrible ratings because they just packaged it too soon and sent it in. Just a 24-hour difference of doing nothing other than letting the product sit out of its packaging before putting it in there could be the difference between a 2-star and a 5-star listing. So guys, we've gone over 3 great principles. Don't sell a product unless you can solve a problem. Don't sell a product unless you can solve a problem. How big is that problem? Don't fix minute things and expect phenomenal results. Try and get down to a market like this where no one is doing well, and then fix issues there. Does that make sense? Your customer has a lot more incentive to come over to your listing and buy from you if you've actually improved upon it. And then the third would be to enter a listing that doesn't have a lot of sellers already doing what you're trying to do. So that's where low competition, high demand comes into. We're looking for phrases that are searched a lot, but markets that haven't developed yet. So underdeveloped markets. Hopefully you guys enjoyed part 9 of the free Amazon FBA course. This was how to differentiate and bundle, core principles you should be operating by when you're thinking about changing your product. I'll give you a forewarning, do not just sell a product that's already on Amazon with no differentiation other than you being the one selling it. That's not a differentiation. Changing the packaging is not a differentiation. Please don't be a Me Too seller. Look for a key error and fix that, and you'll be rewarded greatly. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this one. I hope you like and subscribe. That'd be great. Other than that, I'll see you tomorrow, part 10. Oh, not tomorrow, Monday. I'll see you Monday for part 10 of the free Amazon FBA course. Thanks so much. Bye.